Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. I read something that said seeking validation is the same thing as asking somebody, who am I and what am I worth? We're gonna touch on a few subjects today, but the overall video is to stop sleeping on yourself and to glow up properly. And the 3 ways that I believe that you can do that is obviously to stop sleeping on yourself and glow up. That's obviously the main one. The second one is to stop seeking validation in other people and to genuinely validate yourself and love yourself fearlessly. And the third one is to build up your confidence and to be able to run your own life the way that you want. Sometimes I think we are our own worst enemies. We tell ourselves we're too fat, we're not smart enough, we're not sexy enough. And I genuinely think it just eats away at your self-worth and confidence. And it becomes something that is stifling you from growing as an individual and growing as the person that you've always desired to be. And I want to help you guys and guide you in maybe getting rid of some of those limiting beliefs and grow and glow the exact way that you've wanted to for a long time. I think this is the end of our flop era. We need to adopt a healthier mindset that is going to allow ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. If you guys like these types of videos from me, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I love making these videos. My name is Haley Gamba. I love doing women empowerment style videos. Anything that's about becoming the best version of yourself, I like to do videos on. And also today's video is sponsored by Green Chef, one of my absolute favorite meal companies of all time. And I absolutely think you guys are going to love it as well. So don't forget to stay tuned for me to show you guys what I made for dinner last night and a little bit more about Green Chef. And yeah, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and let's just get into the video. All right, it is dinner time, and of course, I am using Green Chef. You guys know I love being sponsored by Green Chef because it is food that I actually enjoy. It completely elevates my weeknight dinners and gives such amazing chef-crafted recipes that are like no other. So it is a CCOF certified organic company with options for every single lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. I actually made a delicious pasta dish tonight with pesto. It also had like caramelized fennel on it. I can't even believe how delicious this meal was. It's not even funny. Like, I wish you guys could smell it through the screen. It was that good. My personal experience with Green Chef has been nothing but incredible. They are just so restaurant inspired. I feel like I'm eating out every time I have it. I think that you guys all will really like it. There's really something for everyone. So you guys can use my code Haley60 to get 60% off plus free shipping if you go to greenchef.com for more details. And you guys will absolutely enjoy the meals. I can almost promise that. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you again, Green Chef, for sponsoring this portion. If I based my life off of whether I thought I was pretty enough, good enough, smart enough, I don't really know if I would be where I'm at today. I think a huge part of the reason why I'm here is because I kind of closed my ears to the noise and I had tunnel vision when it pertained to my own life. I do believe in faking it till you make it. I am a big believer in that, but I want to take it a step further and actually give you helpful tools that will create these things in yourself naturally. Okay, so let's first talk about how to not sleep on yourself. And the biggest way to not is to stop taking shortcuts when it comes to your life. I want to give you a little perspective here. When you start dating a guy that you really like, you always put your best foot forward. You're communicating all the time, you're calling, you're texting, you're even getting him his favorite snack when you see him or a gift that reminds you of him, and you're really putting your whole heart and soul into this relationship. And then what ends up happening is sometimes we break up or things don't work out, and our entire efforts feel like, wow, I did all of that and it meant nothing and I feel worthless. And I think it's a really sad way of thinking, of course, because that's not true at all. It's just sometimes things don't work out. But I really wanted to give some perspective here in the sense of, instead of putting all of your time and effort into other people all the time, let's do the exact same thing, but for ourselves. Let's not take shortcuts when it comes to us. Let's give ourselves that nurturing, loving, amazing self-love and self-care that we give to other people. I want you to build that gym regimen that you've always wanted. Love yourself fearlessly. Dance in the mirror. Make yourself a beautiful self-care regimen that makes you feel beautiful and special. And It just feels nurturing and safe. And I find that when you do these things for yourself, you do see an amazing change. And the difference is you're doing it for you, so you do appreciate it. Because a lot of the times we're doing things for others in hopes that they'll appreciate it. But I think that sometimes we just need to do it for ourselves to appreciate it. And I like to make the correlation because it just shows the difference in how your life can really go. I believe that a majority of people, and I'm not going to give a percentage because I don't really actually know the statistics on this, but I think a majority of people give a lot of themselves to other people all the time. And the reason why they're a little bit stuck is because they forgot to do it for themselves. They forgot to take care of themselves. And I believe that when it comes to sleeping on yourself, literally the term, don't sleep on yourself. Stop sleeping when it comes to you. Don't take shortcuts. Give yourself exactly the nurture, the love, and the care that you need to become your best version of yourself. I also wanted to touch on when it comes to not sleeping on yourself that you have to sometimes go through a storm to get on the other side. When it comes to soft life or self-improving style content, sometimes the missing piece and component that a lot of people don't touch on is the uncomfortabilities of breaking generational curses, unlearning a lot of bad habits, and reteaching yourself things that are going to give yourself a more prosperous, successful, amazing life. And in order to really have an amazing life, sometimes you have to go through some hardships to get there. Not everything's butterflies and rainbows. And for me, a huge part of my own issues had to do with discipline and work ethic, and those were uncomfortable for me because I was so used to just kind of being lackadaisy and a little bit procrastinating when it came to things, and having to relearn and reteach myself a lot of things when it comes to discipline, work ethic, creating healthy habits. It wasn't fun. And also when it comes to breaking generational curses, like having to give yourself the respect, the loyalty, the admiration that maybe you didn't receive when you were growing up or from other people, you now have to give to yourself. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. Shadow work is really good for that. Going to therapy is really good for that, but I want you guys to start doing the uncomfortable things that get you to the other side. This is going to help you immensely. Okay, now let's talk about validation because I think a lot of people like to talk about this. My question to you is, and I really want you to think about this, is why do you value others' opinions so much? Really think about that. I want you to process this, sit down and try to figure it out. For me, I stopped seeking validation when I realized the people that were making me feel invalidated, I didn't want their lives. Why am I allowing you to stifle me if your life isn't my goal? Your life isn't something that I'm striving to have, so why would I take advice from you? It doesn't make sense. So sometimes you have to go through those weird moments where you're like, wait a second, I don't care what you have to say because I don't like anything about what you're doing, literally. And for me, validation is huge when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself, not sleeping on yourself, and glowing up. You will be so much further ahead in life when you stop listening to the noise around you, when you stop listening to other people and you start putting yourself and your opinions first. Your opinions do matter. Your ideas of what you want for yourself matters. I don't care how popular a trendy topic is or how much somebody thinks that something is great or good. If it doesn't work for you, it's not for you. End of story, period. There's nothing else to talk about. A huge part about validating yourself as well is to become your own best friend. I know that, we do have friends, we do have family that support us, but when you are alone, which should be a good amount of your life eventually when you become an adult, are you putting in that best friend effort into yourself? Are you respecting yourself, respecting your time, enjoying being around yourself? I think we need to start working on that. A lot of people really don't like living with themselves. They want to do everything in their power to be around others, to not have to think about their own life, to not have to be with themselves. And I find that to be very unhealthy. What is it about your own life that you don't like? Figure it out. Figure it out. What is it? What don't you like about yourself? I can't answer that for you. I mean, I can, of course, give some ideas as to what maybe I didn't like about myself at one point. I didn't like my weight for a really long time. I hated looking at myself in the mirror. I hated that I felt like I wasn't as far in life as my peers, which ended up not being true and all in my head. There were so many things that I had to really address that became an issue for me propelling forward, that I had to sit down with myself and say, okay, We need to get to this. We need to get to the root of this so that we can be in a better place in life. And I did end up getting to the root of it, and I feel so much better. So just do that for yourself, and it will help you significantly. If you ditch your ego, you will thrive in life. I feel like I'm cut from a different cloth because I go through life with no ego. I don't find myself to be better than anybody. I don't look at myself as richer, prettier, smarter than anyone. I don't have this ego that doesn't allow me to go through life feeling stupid. Like, a lot of us are afraid of being embarrassed. We're afraid of looking stupid. Don't. It's going to stop you from learning. The fear of embarrassment is because you don't maybe know something, or you're afraid of what other people think. Back to the validation. I promise you, people really don't care. Everyone has their own lives, and they're not really worried about yours. They're not consumed with what you got going on. So don't allow it to make you walk through life fearful. I had to do this myself. And of course, years later, I really don't have an ego. Sometimes I'll like objectively look at somebody and go, holy crap, that's a really pretty girl. And you know what I mean? And it doesn't make me feel any type of way, but I'm just really in my own world, in my own bubble, that I'm not, comparing myself. I'm not obsessing over other people's lives. I don't feel this need to prove myself to anybody except for myself. And it really gives me a sense of freedom, and it allows me to kind of be like a baby that just was brought into the world. I'm super curious, and I'm genuinely willing to learn, and I want to do better, and I'm just not obsessed with being perceived as perfect. And that is really the secret to life. And I want to lastly discuss confidence, because I think this is really big as well when it comes to not sleeping on yourself, because how can we really glow up properly without having self-confidence? And I'm going to try to give you some ways that you can build that for yourself, because what really is it that is making you not confident? Do you feel like you're not sexy, like you're not important, like you're not smart? What are these things that are making you feel that way? The first thing that we can do in life that will always and can never be taken from us is to educate yourself. I am not like a scholar by any means, but I do love to read and I love to learn. So for me, it's important that I am constantly educating myself and becoming better. You cannot take from me what I educated myself on. And it feels so liberating when you are able to have knowledge, because knowledge is power. And this will make you feel so much more confident. Don't allow yourself to stop learning. Never stop learning. Always keep learning. Always keep growing. The second thing you can do to boost your confidence is to carry yourself like you are important and valued. I mean, you are, but you're not carrying yourself like you are. Having boundaries, establishing that, respecting yourself, being virtuous, these are all ways that you can carry yourself like you're important and valued. I know for me, like, I make sure that when I walk into a room, I own the room, I smile, I'm happy, I'm making eye contact, I'm listening and learning, and I'm also speaking when spoken to. There are so many different ways that, you can really carry yourself like you're important and valued. I really think the way you carry yourself is going to be the way you're perceived. You're going to start seeing people treat you differently, because when you treat yourself differently, people treat you almost how you treat yourself. It's a boundary thing. A lot of people just kind of get it, and if they don't, then you can just shut it down. But for the most part, people value you the way you value yourself, and that's just how it is. And back to the boundaries, confident people do establish boundaries in themselves and with other people so that they're not walked all over. I know for me, I have had to stop certain things from coming into my life that didn't feel right, okay? I've established, certain boundaries in that aspect, and it makes me feel like I am in charge, which I am. It's my life. I am in charge of it. But sometimes we don't feel like we're the pilot of our own, plane, or we're not the captain of our own ship. I wanted to make sure that what I choose and choose not to do is going to be very well known amongst the people that are in my life. End of story. And it feels really powerful and amazing. Number 4 is to do some mirror work. And by this, I mean, look in the mirror and talk to yourself and have conversations. I want you to start learning how to talk to anyone. There's actually a book literally titled How to Talk to Anyone. I think you should pick it up if you struggle with talking to people. I really find that What makes talking to people easy is when you can find common ground with them, or allowing them to speak and you finding a way to listen and also grab from conversation and also add to it. There's definitely many different secrets and there's different ways that you can talk to anybody. I really want you to learn and do the mirror work, talk to yourself in the mirror, look at yourself in the eye, learn to make eye contact and smile and just be like a really happy, like I said, curious and optimistic person. People just respect those who are able to carry themselves like they matter, and being able to talk to people is huge. And a great way to even practice this, like somebody said to me the other day that when they go on dates, they need to do like a bar date because they need to get like drunk in order to really open up and be able to have conversation. And I'm like, how about you just go out and just talk to people and socialize, and you'll learn to not have to use alcohol as a gateway to being able to talk to someone. You have to talk to people in real life sober in order to be able to talk to people in real life sober. But if you keep talking to people when you're drunk only, you're not going to be able to talk to people when you're sober because you're using alcohol as a way to talk to people. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You need to just socialize and get out. I don't really know what everyone else is doing. I do find myself to be a pretty social person. I mean, I work from home, so I definitely have to orchestrate a lot of my life in that way. But when I do go out, I do socialize. And I don't need alcohol to make me loose and exciting. I can be like that on my own. And I think it's just naturally because I've worked in the service industry. Being pushed out of my element many times in my life has allowed me to be able to talk to people because I'm uncomfortable. And now suddenly I have to just make it work and I have to just go with it. It's really awesome. You know, public speaking will get you there. Like if you take public speaking classes in college, that will really help you with being able to talk to people, and just anything that is just going to push you out of your element. This is what you want to start doing in order to create that confidence when it comes to talking. Take good care of yourself. You don't have to be the sexiest person in the room to take care of yourself. And by the way, be the sexiest person in the room to you, right? Like I believe wholeheartedly in taking good care of myself. I don't compare myself to other women. I don't care. I love women. I can admire women, but I don't compare myself to other women. That's just not who I am. So what I like to do that nobody can take from me is my hygienic practices, like showering and making sure I smell good, taking good care of my hair, making sure my hair smells good and looks good and is beautiful. My makeup is done right. My nails are clean and pretty. My outfit is pressed and, you know, it looks nice. That's really all you need. You don't need to be a supermodel to take good care of yourself. And people will notice the efforts put into your hygiene and self-care routine. There's many beautiful women out there who are not taking good care of themselves, and I do notice it. I will notice it. If you're not smelling good, your breath stinks, you're not taking good care of your teeth, you're not cleaning out your ears, and I can see wax from a mile away, babe, like, let's get it together. Come on. So taking good care of yourself will boost your confidence naturally because I think people just respect those who care about the way that they look and smell and how they are perceived in that way. And the sixth thing to boost your confidence and to help you get better and further in life is to stop waiting for that moment to do things because you're afraid of embarrassment or you're afraid that you're just not all the way together. I think a lot of people stifle themselves in life because they're not like skinny yet, or they just don't feel like their hair looks right, or oh, I have acne, or I'm just not feeling it. Like, just do it. Just freaking do it. Like, don't allow yourself to not do things because of the moment that you're living in. I love seeing people who just perform in life in a way that just screams happiness, abundance, love, light, and prosperity, no matter the stage of life that they're in. It's freaking gorgeous. Even me, like, there were many years ago where I was very insecure and unhappy, and I'm so sad because I can't even go back in that time and look at photos of myself or look at anything that I was doing because I didn't want to be captured. I didn't want to do anything, and I regret it. I'm telling you, I do regret it because I wish I had those moments to look back on, you know? So I just don't want you to ever feel like you can't do something because you're not in the place of your life that you want to be in. I think what helps boost your confidence is that inner talk that you have to have with yourself, that you're important regardless of what you look like, regardless of what you feel like. I hope this video helped you guys and will propel your journey to glow up and not sleep on yourself anymore. I think that we just have to sometimes push ourselves out of our comfort zones to really get far in life, and sometimes we have to touch on some tricky subjects that maybe we've been avoiding. So I hope that this really opened that up for you guys and it helps you. I love you guys all so much. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to pick up your Green Chef. Everything that you need to know about it will be down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone. Mwah.